Vanessa. I'm sure you've noticed that embroideries are quite a big trend this season. Some of the designers do them very, very well, a lot better than some of the items you find in the high street. It depends on how much you want to pay. So I've come up with this video to show you how to customise your own, which will be exactly as you wanted and potentially a little bit unique, a little bit nicer than some of the items you can afford in the high street. You'll need some pins. You will need cotton in each of the colours of your embroidery. If you're not an advanced sewer, I would recommend that you change your cotton as the embroidery colour changes, because otherwise your stitching is going to show. Some of the embroideries are iron on, but it's my experience that they do not last for several washes. They do start peeling away. So even if they are iron on embroideries or badges, I would still sew them. It's worth it to keep the garment looking nicer longer. So first of all, you'll take your pins, and once you've placed your embroidery on this sweatshirt, you'll start pinning them in place. So we'll do that. We'll pin that in place. I'm only going to do a few to demonstrate. So you place those pins in, you'll get those all nice and flat. You need to place your hand under the sweatshirt so that you don't catch the back of the sweatshirt, because you might sew right through to the back, and then you'll have to start all over, which will be very annoying. So pin that carefully everywhere so that it's nice and flat. I'm just going to do a section now to illustrate. So once you've pinned the embroidery down on the sweatshirt exactly where you want it, you'll take your first colour cotton. If you're not very confident, you could perhaps use a board and place it in between the layers, because if you're not an experienced sewer, what very often happens is that you could catch the underside and sew the two layers together, and as I said earlier, you'll have to start over again. So you put your cotton through the needle, you make a little knot, and you start at the back and you sew on the edge, and you don't have to make the stitches very neat or small, because you're sewing in the same colour as the embroidery, which makes it a lot easier for it not to look messy. So if you sew sort of maybe a ½ centimetre stitch at a time, that should do the trick. So you just keep going and keep that gap, and then you keep sewing. You keep sewing through, and then you just continue. If your cotton runs out, you just put it through and back again and through a few times, and then just get another piece of cotton and start over. So you just keep going while you're on the same colour. This is a different colour here, but I'm fairly experienced with sewing, so I'm not going to change colours right now. And then you just keep stitching along the lines in smallish stitches, in and out, all along the lines. And as I said, you just need to get it nice and flat. Your stitches don't have to be too tidy, as long as your cotton is the same colour as the embroidery. And then when you get to the new colour, you can change the cotton. Make sure you finish it off at the back by making a small stitch and then sewing it a few times like this. Just catch it without going all the way through. Just catch it like that. a few times because that will secure it. Cut it, and then you change your cotton and you do the same thing over again, knotting your new colour by just pulling the cotton and knotting it at the bottom. And then you start over, and then you sew all the way around and continue until you have sewn all of the embroidery completely flat, and there you have your own bespoke customised sweatshirt on trend. I'm Vanessa. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial.